All right. Welcome to the antidote. Proverbs, the antidote. And Proverbs is the antidote for what? Toxic thinking. Not toxic masculinity. I'm talking about toxic thinking, period. This whole series was motivated by the fact that my children have both started, two of my youngest children have started going to college. And I just don't want them to be out there and be all vulnerable and get caught up and tricked by every trickster that come alongside. So what I'm trying to do is do what was done for me. Someone told me I should read the book of Proverbs so I can be wise and so I can be able to have some kind of wisdom. And I like the idea because the book of Proverbs it's an ancient text and ancient scripture, but it's all about giving wisdom to the young person. Give wisdom to that individual who don't have much sense. It was designed, the idea was that a king was given his son, the prince, wisdom so that he might take over the kingdom, so he might be a powerful ruler like his father was. And so in this day and time, it's like a dad trying to give game to his son and his daughter so they don't be tricked. It's like an uncle. That's why I'm calling this series. And this, I'm not Pastor Omar in this series. I'm Uncle Omar in this series. So I'm going to say some things that might not be um, pastor-like, but it's definitely uncle-like and father-like, and it's all for you. So what we're going to do, we're going to start right away, jump right into it. Have you ever done something? You started something like, I don't know if I can finish this. Well, I started this series, and believe me, I was so tired today, I didn't even know if I could finish it. I couldn't even start it. I was like, but here we go. We in Proverbs chapter 6. It starts off like this. I'm reading from this version, but I don't want to read this one. I want to read from, what is this? The New International Version. It says, my son, if you have put up surety for your neighbor, if you have shaken hands in a pledge for a stranger, if you have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth, so do this, my son, to free yourself. Since you have fallen into your neighbor's hand, go to the point of exhaustion and give your neighbor no rest. Allow no sleep to your eyes, no slumber to your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. So let's talk about this. I think it's a good place to start because it's talking about something that you may not even know about. Like when young people try to buy a car or something like that, they ask for a co-signer. Some because they're going to make a bill. They're saying we are promised to make this loan to you, but you're going to have to get somebody who can co-sign for you. If you don't get this loan done, we're going to go after the other person to get our money back because we want our money back, right? So it's co-signing. So one of the things I learned from this bit of wisdom is, first of all, don't get in the co-signing business at all. I don't care if you're young or old. Don't do it, and you especially don't get into this. I'm gonna co-sign your loan, and you don't hardly know the person. The person is a stranger to you. Sometimes we get pride and we get ego. We say, "Ah, man, I heard such about you. Like you got a good reputation, but you don't know if that person paid their bills back or not. But you're just going for it, right? So it's saying to the person who does it, if you if you're foolish enough to say you're going to back somebody's loan that you hardly even know, then the scripture tell you, the wise saying said, go and do every you can to get out of that situation. If you sign that paper, say, look, I want to get out of this. I don't want to do it. You beg them. You go after them. You don't give them no rest. Don't even let them sleep. Just get on them until you get out of that, because you have to realize you have made a terrible mistake and you're on a path that's going to cause you some problems. So don't co-sign. You know how he said, people co-sign it, somebody talking, and you in the background saying, yeah, I got that, yeah, you co-sign this. Don't co-sign on a loan for a person that you hardly know. A stranger, someone that you have no connection with, don't do it. That's going to be a problem. So I'm saying that to you now. it in your immediate family. Maybe they're buying something that they cannot even afford, and you're going to be ending up footing the bill at at the end of the day, and that's not what you want. So the Bible, and especially in this proverb, is trying to teach you something, real good. Let's look at this. I want to show you something right quick. I think I have it about this particular book. This is why I chose this one. Look, it says here at this very beginning of this chapter, it's about this. This chapter advises the release from foolish indebtedness, admonishes avoiding laziness, warns of the dangers of poverty and deviousness, and lists conduct that the Lord hates, immorality. These are some of the things we're going to deal with. We just dealt with the first one. If you caught up, this one says, my child, if you made a pledge for your neighbor, if you have become a guarantor for a stranger, if you have been ensnared by the words of your own mouth, you put yourself in this situation and have been caught by the words that you have spoken, then my child, do this in order to deliver yourself. Snatch yourself out situation is basically saying, because you have fallen into your neighbor's power. Whoever tricked you into doing that co-signing, they might be a fast talker. I don't know what they did, but they get you all twisted and they got you, and now you are under their control, because if they leave from doing that loan, then you got to pay for it. So we want you to have wisdom in this day and time. We don't want you to get caught up. So I'm asking you to do this. Do not or co-sign on activity that you hardly even know the person, but you vouching for them. You don't need to be vouching for somebody you barely even know. No, it said don't even permit sleep to come to your eyes. Don't let slumber come to your eyelid. Deliver yourself like you are an animal caught in a snare. Get out of there like a bird caught in a trap. Get out of there. Do that now. And now we're going to switch the scenes, because one of the other things that the Bible teaches about that a wise person is not a lazy person. A wise person is not a lazy person. Now, in order to teach this lesson, the writer of the Proverbs said, now go look at the ant. Let's read it for ourselves and see what it said. Go look at the ant. Now, as I'm finding this, when I was a young man, I was what do they call it? Oh, I was a director of an education program, and I had to rally young people and get them together, 18 to 24 years. And so I actually convinced themselves to call themselves the Ants. And we really got the baseball team with the A on it. We got those hats, and I gave it to everybody. And say, and the saying I gave them, that who are we? We are the ants. We move mountains. Now, where did I get that idea from? I got it partially from the idea of this, what we're about to read here in Proverbs. The other part I got from when I went to Africa. I'm telling you, this is the craziest thing. But I saw ants. You know how you see the ants around here? They build a little bit. I saw ant hills as tall as human beings, and solid as I tried to kick that thing and almost hurt my leg. I did hurt my leg. I'm glad I didn't break it, because I thought it was going to easily push down because the ants did it. No, these ants use the strength and power that they have. I think my son said that ant can lift 10 times their weight. They're super strong. So I was saying to them, we move mountains. We may look small, we may look insignificant, but we move mountains. But here is what the lesson was teaching us. This is what they said to do. We're starting in verse 6. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Do you know what a sluggard is? I think I looked that word up for you. Let's see if I can find a sluggard for you. Let's go here. A sluggard. My words. Here we go. A sluggard. Here it is. I found it. A sluggard. I did look at the word up for you. A sluggard is someone who is habitually lazy. An habitually lazy person. That's what a sluggard is. You just lazy, and you know, some people are so lazy that if they might ask you to fix a plate, but if their plate is down in a room somewhere, they won't even go get the plate, because they don't want to do any work. They're sluggers. They're lazy people. And I'm telling you, you can't be wise in this world and be lazy. The lazy people become something to be used and abused. I'm sorry, but I'm just telling you like it is. Don't be lazy, y'all. Get some industry in your life. And here's how the wise people said it back in the day. They said this. They said, "Go to the ant, you sluggard, and consider the ways and be wise." Consider the ways of what? An ant, and be wise. The ant has no commander. They don't have any major leader. You know, the queen is inside. You don't even see him outside. No overseer or ruler. Nobody has to tell them what to do. They don't have any boss. They don't have any parents. Yet it stores provision in the summer and gathers food for the harvest. When it's summertime and there's a lot of food around, they go and get the food while the food is ready. Even though it's hot, the ant go and get that food and they store it away for the time when there ain't no food up there. When it's winter time and they can't get any food, they put there so an ant thinks ahead, plans for that situation, and puts away food and puts away things. They work hard when other people are sleeping. Other people are on the beach. They're on the beach laying up. But the ant is working hard to prepare for tomorrow that they know is going to come if they live long enough for it. So I want you to be like the ant. This is what they're saying. Don't be lazy. Don't be a slouch. Don't be a sloth. But go to the ant, you sluggard, and consider her ways. And be wise. Learn from the ant. I saw another one. It said you can go to the bee and do the same thing. Look at the bee. A bee works, oh man, they work hard for their family. They were out there working. So the things are taken care of. So go to the ant, thou sluggard. They have no ruler. There ain't nobody telling them what to do. But yet they store its provision in the summer and gather the food in the harvest. It says, how long will you lie there, you sluggard? You lazy slouch, you sloth. When will you get up from your sleep? You know, lazy people are like, oh man, I'm tired. I'm just gonna chill. I'm just gonna hit this. You know what? What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna smoke me a J and I just chill. I'm gonna just chill. Some of them say they smoke it so much. They got that super strong herb down, that super strong cannabis that put you on stunner. You hit it, next thing you know, you just stuck. You ain't moving nowhere. Because you didn't do any work. You didn't earn the right. It wasn't Miller time yet. You didn't earn any right to even smoke a J or take a beer or drink some wine. I hope y'all not doing that. I hope you're not doing that. But I know for a fact there are some people who are underage who've already entered into this whole concept of drinking, smoking, and getting high, right? Laying around, just chilling, when they really should be working. They should be in somebody's school, at somebody's job. They should be working on their own business. They should be doing something. But they're lazy. So I want to say to you, learn from this. Go to the ant. Get this. Don't be a sluggard. Don't be lazy. Because this is what happens to sluggards. Look at what it says here. It said, they say a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. I'm going to take some rest. I'm going to chill out here. I'm going to be over here. It says, and poverty will overcome them like a sleep. Then they're going to wonder why they ain't got no money in their pocket. Why they asking mommy and daddy, can they get some money? And mommy and daddy, if they watching them and you ain't going to school, you better get a job. If you ain't working, you better go to school. That's what I'm saying. I had to say that to my children. Hey, if you're not going to school, you're going to go to work. You're not going to be lazy laying up in my house eating all my food and not taking care of business. And I don't think your mama or your daddy or anybody in your neighborhood going to want you to do. Your auntie, your uncle, they want you to contribute. So don't be lazy. Work hard, deliberately, smart, intelligent. You don't even have to work hard. Work smart, but don't be lazy. Because this is what happens. Because what happens to this is poverty will overcome you like a thief, and scarcely like an armed man. You be feeling like you got robbed. Who robbed you? It wasn't nobody but you. Your laziness, your unwillingness to get up and go to work. That's what robbed you. All right, let me keep it moving. A troublemaker and a villain who goes about with a corrupt mouth, who winks maliciously with eyes, who signals with their feet and motions with their fingers, who plots evil with deceit in their heart. He always stirs up conflict. Therefore, disaster will overtake them in an instant. He will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. So we talked about the ant, but right after we talked about the ant, they start talking about these tricky people. Now, I don't know about you. Now, I don't know if you've seen your mom and them. do this, but I love to play spades, right? Oh man, I love to play spades. I don't know what game you got. I love to do it. But then there's something called talking across the board. Now that's when you ain't supposed to be talking, but you telling somebody, you telling your partner what you're doing. Oh man, I think diamonds are forever. You know, you trying to or you doing the wink like I ain't got no books. You wink it to your partner. You know you got some books. You're just trying to draw them in. So some people use trickery, all this kind of crazy stuff, sneakery and all that kind of stuff to accomplish things. But it's saying that's evil. Don't be about that. Be about honest and just actions and behaviors. I'm gonna leave that alone. Y'all got the idea of that. That's not too hard for you to understand. But this next one might be. This next one is something I really think you should take a look at. It says 6 things that the Lord hates. Would you like to know what God hates? Would you like to know what God really hates? He hates these things. 6 things God hates. You didn't know God hates? Oh yeah, he hates. But he hates on these kind of things. Look at what these things are. It says here in this verse, it says 6 things that he hates. 6 things the Lord hates. 7 are detestable to him. Some versions say 7 are an abomination to them. Something that's so vile and disgusting that he don't even want to see it. One of them is haughty eyes. Now I had to look up that word haughty. That's not one of them everyday words. Let me see. I think I got it in my thing. Look for haughty eyes. My words. Let me come back here as I'm doing this. While I'm doing this, I want to show you something anyway. That screen I have in the background, that's what they call a virtual screen. That is from one of my friends. His birthday is today. Babu Blakes and his son, Ellison. They wrote a book, and that book is right there what he was talking about. Now I'm going to go to my words. Got him. The word I was looking for is haughty. Here's the word. Here's what haughty means. Haughty, haughty. It means blatantly and disdainfully proud, having or showing an attitude of superiority and contempt for people or things perceived to be inferior. Oh man, haughty, haughty. And it says that God hates haughty people. God hates the haughty. He got no time for the haughty. Now, haughtiness might look like this. I fell into this thing. I fell into being haughty one day, and I didn't even know it was by mistake. I didn't mean it. I was in a store. I was in a thrift shop. And I was saying to the guy, "Oh, these shoes are nice. They feel sort of like they feel better than Yeezys." I don't know if you got, but my son gave me for my birthday some Yeezys, they're like sandals that have ripples on the bottom of them. They're nice. They're comfortable. They feel good. And I said, these shoes that you're trying to sell me feel better than Yeezys, and they're like half the price of Yeezy, even quarter of the price of a Yeezy. And then the guy said to me, "I don't know anything about no Yeezy." And I said, "Oh man, I didn't realize that because of the privilege of my son giving me these shoes, I was wearing them, and I was just talking about them like, like it's common knowledge. Don't everybody have a pair of Yeezys? But some people, they get them Yeezys, and they proud. They walk around showing their shoes. They ain't got no money in the bank, but they got $150 shoes on. They the first person to get it, and they walk around haughty. I think I'm somebody because I got name brands on my clothes. I got Balenciaga, whatever it is. They got all kind of stuff going on. So listen, one thing God hates is haughtiness. You got that from somebody, even if you got a job, you worked in, and God gave you the ability. But don't be haughty. Don't be so proud and all that kind of stuff that you. It's not. And then it's because God don't like it. And then he don't like a lying tongue. Now, are any of you liars? Now, I'm not going to ask you, have you ever lied? Because I don't know if there's any human being on the earth who would never lie. Well, they say Jesus, was sinless, so I imagine that Jesus didn't lie. Unless he was a little boy and he lied something, as a kid, maybe. But listen, if you have a lying habit or a lying problem, stop it. Just shut it down. lies don't help anybody. In fact, lies hinder. If you lie to your parents about a situation and you don't tell them the truth, you take the power away from your parents to be able to help you because you use a lie. If they knew the truth, then they have the right information and they might be able to help you. But if you're going around lying, then you're doing something that God just hates. He does not like liars. And I don't care if it's a white lie or a black lie. I don't know the difference. It's a lie is a lie, right? But I guess a white lie meaning it wasn't really harmful, but you lie. I would encourage you, take lying out your mouth. If you lying, you saying falsity, just stop doing it. Stop lying about where you been and what you do and who you slept with or how much money you got. Stop lying. You know you're lying, and don't you know? And if you're a habitual liar, your friends know you lying too. They be looking at you like looking upside your head like, don't this dude know we know he a liar? Don't she know that we know she a liar? Nobody believes you a liar. So if you're doing that, you don't want to water down your word. You want to be wise, and you don't want to do some of the things that God hates. Hands that shed innocent blood. God do not like hands that shed innocent blood. Now I know in some cultures, in some communities, shedding blood might be something to be to give you a sense of honor. Say you're a gangbanger. I heard about this. I don't know because I've never been a gangbanger, but I heard about this that some people have to prove that they with the gang by taking the life of an innocent person, shedding blood, and not thinking about it. So that's one aspect of it. But then there's another aspect that hardly anybody ever think about, and I think I'm going to be considered politically incorrect to say what I'm about to say, but I still think about it like this. I think that if a child is growing in your belly, it's growing in your belly. It is a little human being, not fully formed human being, and you think that the best thing to do is to kill, to abort that child? I don't know. I know that when I asked somebody to do it and they did it, I've had guilt for the rest of my days. I've been feeling bad about that. I had to go through some therapy. I had to go through some counseling to get myself to stop focusing on the fact that I shed innocent blood of my own child. I got her pregnant. I should have took responsibility. I didn't. That's why every time I see my children, I thank God. I be like, thank God. Because God gave me another chance. So, one thing that God hates, he hates is shedding the blood. He hates is shedding the blood when they're babies and the innocent. Little babies, they ain't done they just growing in the womb. Their mama and daddy, they conceived it, they laid down, they got that, they made that baby, but now they don't want it because now they're scared. Now they want to be responsible, right? God hates the shedding of blood. And if you're, in that gangbanging set, you think killing is a sport. It's not. Shedding the innocent blood is not good. It's definitely not good, and it's not good on the far end when rogue police officers shoot down men, shoot them in their chest, shoot them and run them in the back, shoot them just for no. They ain't done nothing that deserve death. At least we don't know about that. I know that guy who put his knee on the neck of that brother. That was the shedding of innocent blood. It was not blood, but it caused death. It's like the lynching tree. Let me get out of that. That's too deep. But I could see why God hates the shedding of innocent blood. Right? The heart that devises wicked schemes. God hates them tricksters and them schemers. Some people always got a scheme. Every time you see them, they got a little hustle. They got a little scheme. And they ain't a righteous hustle. They just trying to trick somebody out their money. I never forget the day. I'm just putting my stuff out there. I'm old enough to put it out there. When I was just starting to smoke some marijuana, and I put my money out there and I asked somebody to get me some marijuana. They brought me back some parsley leaves wrapped up in a joint, and I was like, I got lost. I just got burnt. I didn't, because I didn't know any better. Another time, I might as well put the stuff out there. Pastor Muhammad, it wasn't always Pastor Muhammad. That's why Uncle Omar is talking to you now. Uncle Omar one day went out and, somebody, they marked me out. They knew it. They said, hey, man, you looking for something? I was in the neighborhood trying to score me a little ounce or something like that. And they said, oh, man, I got you covered. I got you covered. Just give me the money. Wait right here. Give me the money, and I'll be right back. You know I'm still waiting for my money, right? They got me. And I don't know if you ever got by some people who got some schemes and some plans and some trickery. But this is why God does a heart. The Lord does not like hearts that devise wicked schemes. Mm. Oh, there's a whole lot of wicked schemes going on now, all day long. And the Lord hates feet that are quick to rush to evil. All right, all right, all right. Let me talk to you about that. All right, let me just talk to you about that. So, so say it like this: you on school campus, and all of a sudden, a big fight starts, and you see that fight starting, and instead of saying I'm gonna go the other way, you running up to see what's on there. You dozy, you egging them, get him. You putting them in, get. God hates that. God hates when you just act ignorant and you do ignorant things and you mistreat people. It is not cool to do people like that. It says feet that run are quick to do evil. All right. I got a Ponzi scheme. I got this scheme. You're gonna look at some of the other episodes that we did. I think it's episode 1 where it talks about some people who came up with a scheme to try to take people money, like the modern day thing that got going on, the Kia boys. They taking people's stuff. They coming up with quick schemes. Instead of people running away from it, they're running to it. God don't like that. He don't like ugly. I can hear my wife saying, God don't like ugly. All right. God don't like that kind of ugly. And he doesn't like false witnesses who pour out lies. All right. You know that what you said about that individual, you lied on him. I had to go check somebody on a lie today. Somebody was talking a lie, told my mother-in-law a lie about me. And I was like, what? My wife told me about it. I said, I called my mother-in-law and said, now, I don't know who out there lying on me, but you send this message back to him. Omar never said that. Stop being a lying witness. You in court, you know you trying to get over people. You actually in court telling lies when you swore to tell the truth. God does not like people who do that, because what it does is when you lie and bear false witness, you break up families, you break up community. Yeah, I saw him. He was over there with that girl down the street. That man wasn't doing anything. You just want that man for yourself, and you jealous about him having a relationship, a good relationship with his wife. Why are you gonna be lying on him and bearing false witness? Now, if you tell him the truth, that's a different story. But if you lying, then God hates that. God hates false witnesses who pour out lies, and he hates a person who stirs up conflict in the community. If you are a SHIT starter, you need to stop. Stop being an SHIT starter. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say the word, but you know what I mean. You starting stuff. You causing rumors. You saying little smart thing to cause people to get off and get on to some crazy stuff. You better stop it, because God hates that. 6 things that the Lord hates. 7 are abomination to him. He can't stand these things. He can't stand people who always sowing discord, who always trying to separate and get people on different sides and stuff. God don't like that. God don't like ugly children. I'm trying to tell you something. So God puts it out there for you. Now, I did see something that's beautiful. I don't know if I could pick it up where I saw that. But I saw something beautiful. Because you can learn what God's like by learning what he hates. Okay, so you know he doesn't like, so let's look at it. If you are a hardy-eyed person, you proud and you arrogant, well, God like people who are humble and the blessing. If you're a lying tongue, God like people who tell the truth. If you share innocent blood, God likes people who protect the innocent and don't shed blood. If God like people who come up with stuff that be a blessing and help people instead of wicked scheme. If you quickly run to do evil, God like people who are slow to evil but quick to do good. If you hate false witness, God hates false witness. God like people who tell the truth and bear witness to the truth. If you're a person who stirs up conflict, God like people who are always going toward harmony. I hope this is helpful to you. All right, this other one, we spent a lot of time on this yesterday, so I'm not sure if we really want to do this, but I do want to tell you this, that adultery, sleeping with somebody else's wife, is a problem to God. He don't like it. He's because when a person gets married, they're making a covenant relationship before God, and he don't like it, and they're making a covenant relationship before people. He don't like people who break covenants. They make contracts and they break them for no reason. The guy ain't into that, and especially don't like people who take other people's wives or other people's husbands. And like I heard the young people say yesterday, the way you got them is the way you're gonna lose them too. Somebody else gonna do the same thing to you. If you got in there, slept with that man's wife, slept with that man's wife, or slept with that woman's husband, and you know you were just doing it because you just want to put a notch on your belt. You weren't trying to build a loving relationship. Then you're a problem. Look what it says here. It says here, might as well get it out there. A father now is talking to his son. It says, keep your father's commands and don't forsake your mother's teaching. Obey your parents. Your parents been on the earth for a long time. They know a little bit of something, unless you one of them like teenage parents, which you may not know much, but her parents might know. But here, in general, do what your parents say do. Follow their instructions. You should be okay. Because they got your good at her. They're not trying to hate on you. It says, bind them always on your heart. Fasten them around your neck. You know how they like wear those bust down chains, how we like to wear stuff like that. Instead of wearing that kind of jewelry, wear the jewelry of wisdom and knowledge and understanding and pass down learning that your parents give you. Wear that around your neck. Be bold about that. It says 22. When you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you're awake, they will speak to you. When you start doing what your parents tell you to do, you start practicing and start learning these things I'm giving you out of wisdom, and you start putting this wisdom in, you can wake up in your sleep and somebody try to do something wrong with you, but the wisdom be so deep in you, you won't even be able to go for it. You can see a trick coming down the street. Man, just recently, a man came up, rolled up on me. I was downtown, rolled up on me in a white Mercedes-Benz talking about he trying to find a gas station. Had a son in the car. I'm trying to find a gas station. Can you help me find a gas station? Now, that appealed to my desire to help. I was like, oh yeah, if you go down here, you go over here, I know this is the best gas station place. But he didn't really want that. He was looking at my jewelry, looking at my stuff and stuff, and said, it did start, hey. He pulled a ring off and tried to give me a gold ring. It looked like gold, but it was really just cheap metal. And I said, man, dude, listen. I said, I already been down this road. You a gamer, you're a trickster, and you better get out of my face with this foolishness. I'm gonna say to you, you said you a Muslim, I'm gonna say assalamu alaikum to you and get out of the world. And then what I tried to do was I got my camera and got it ready. As soon as he drive up, I started taking pictures. That man, ooh, he got out of there quick because I was already, and I gotta be honest with you, how did I know about this scheme? I know about this scheme because somebody tried to do that to me one time before. Tried to give me a little ring and talk all this kind of stuff with them. But that time, I took the ring and I walked on off. I didn't even give him the ring back. And then I went and go and praised the ring and found out that was some trickery. So, and they were trying to say, it was some trickery. So there are people out here who got schemes and plans to get you caught up, to take your good and take your good nature and use your good nature against you. How are you going to be protected from that? You're going to use wise sayings. You're going to use proverbs. You're going to use the teachings of your uncles or your aunties. You're going to use the teachings of your teachers. You're going to use the teachings of your parents. Because they trying to help you. They seen some of these schemes coming. So this time when I saw that scheme coming, I was prepared. And I was ready for him. And that man didn't know what to do. It was shameful. He was doing this with his son in the car. All right, you guys. How did I get there? I got there because in this scripture it says, if you keep your parents' commandment, when you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you're awake, they will speak to you. What's going to speak to you? The wise words and the teachings that they gave you. For this command is a lamp, and this teaching is a light. And correction and instruction are the way of life. You're going to make mistakes. Correction and instruction is the way of life. So you're going to take the wisdom, you're going to take these teachings I'm giving you, you're going to share them with your friends, you're going to talk about it, you're going to think about it, and they're going to be so much a part of you that you won't be susceptible. And look who you're going to be susceptible to. Now, we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but it says here, verse 24, keeping you from the neighbor's wife and from the smooth talk of a wayward woman. Now, some other versions, let me see, that's 23. Let me see what this other one, that's 24. Let's see what this other version, how it reads. Verse 24. Keeping you from the evil woman, from the smooth tongue of a loose woman. Do not lust in your heart for her beauty. I got to stop right there. All right. So for some reason, I think because so many men and women got caught up with this. So many people get caught up with somebody trying to bust up a good thing. So he said, if you want to be protected from that smooth talking Negro who trying to get in your panties, this is Uncle Omar I'm talking to. Or that smooth talking woman who trying to get in your pocket, gonna give you a little something, something, and then gonna have you on the hook for rent and the cell phone and all these other kind of stuff. Come on now, I gotta teach the truth now. I gotta help you out here. There's somebody gaming and scheming on you. But here's what you gotta do. And this is very, very important. Look at this little phrase right here. I thought this phrase was really interesting. I said, wow, I did not realize that. But now I see it so clearly. It says, do not lust in your heart for her beauty. And do not let her captivate you with her alluring eyes. Now, let me talk to you. Let me talk to the brothers first. Because I know, look, she might be fine as new wine. But you can't let that beauty get you all twisted. Some of the most beautiful people are the ugliest, have the ugliest souls you ever want to do. I'm not hating on beautiful people, because I'm a beautiful person. And you're a beautiful person too. So we're not hating on that. But you can't let that beauty, let the fineness of them drive you to the point that you don't even think straight. You think with your genitals rather than with your head. You think with the wrong head when you start doing that. So don't get caught up looking at the beauty. She fine, but don't let that get caught up. Now I'm not suggesting you go out and get an Ugmo either. If she ugly to you, she ugly. You ain't got to worry about it. And that's the same thing happens with men. Sisters, don't get caught up with them fine gigolo Negroes. They so fine. They more pretty than you. Sometimes. Now I've seen brothers, man. I'd be like, dang, I can't even tell if you're male or female. What's really going on? I don't know what's going on. You so pretty. Well, I'm just saying that to say, this particular generation that we're in now, they use these facades. They make themselves look so pretty. They might even go get a breast and implant their breast, make their breast. I heard some people taking I don't know where they doing it, where they getting the fat from and putting it on their butt and making their butts bigger. All kinds of stuff. And then so you get, because they know there's some fools out there gonna be looking at them like slobbing at them out over that. So don't get caught up like that. And don't let them silly brothers that putting socks in their pants get you caught up either. It ain't about that. It ain't about how fine they look or how beautiful it is. It's about their character, how they move it in their heart. What kind of person are they? What kind of character are they? And the way the wise person said, the way you get away from this is this. Now the other thing is, now I'm gonna tell you, I'm a sucker for this. I'm a sucker for it. I'm a sucker for them eyelashes. When them sisters put on them extra eyelashes, they blacken their eyes. I'm a sucker for it. But I had to learn. I can't let you get me twisted up, blacken their eyes at me. Oh, my brother Muhammad, Pastor Muhammad. Ooh, wee. But when blinking their eyes and all that kind of stuff, I be looking and be like, yeah, sister, that's good. I appreciate you. God bless you. My wife is that my wife? I think my wife is calling me. Because I'm going to have to get out of there, because I'm not going to let, there are some sisters that's so fine, I can't even talk to them. They just so fine, I can't even be near. I start blubbering over in my mouth because they just so fine. Because my lustful desire is looking at them like, ooh, and they batting them eyes at me, it's trouble. And so you got to be mindful of that. And now I noticed that men are starting to do that too. Be looking at you, trying to catch your eye, they be staring at you. Next thing you know, you mesmerized because you looking into the eyes of that fine man or that fine woman. They got your attention. They trapped you with their eyelashes of their eyes. I want you to be mindful of that. I want you to be careful of that. I don't want you to get caught up and get tricked. Oh, now I got my energy back. I got my energy back because I'm trying to help somebody today. Because look what it says here. It says, I'm going to get to the other version, not this version. Be careful her. Do not lust in your heart after her beauty, or let her captivate you with her eyes. For a prostitute can be had for a loaf of bread, but another man's wife preys on your very life. So I don't know exactly. It sounds kind of strange to me, but it sounds like it's saying that, you could pay money and get a prostitute, and that would be better than you going to take some man's wife. I'm not encouraging you that, but I know for a fact in the Bible there are accounts of biblical characters that we love and honor who were using prostitutes. Yeah, they were using them. I'm not trying to get caught up like that. I don't even know. I'm scared now. I'm scared of that. I don't know what might be out there. So thankfully, thank you, Lord, I never got caught up. I never paid for a prostitute. Not me. But I was played like a prostitute. I've been played. Oh yeah, and I've been a player too. I ain't gonna say that. I was a male gigolo. If you wanna treat a brother, I'll let you treat me all day long. But I thank God I got delivered. I thank God I let the wisdom of these pages continue to stay with me and bring me to another place. And I don't want you to get caught up. So don't get caught up, especially if they in a committed relationship, whether it's a man or woman. If they're in a committed relationship, they got them wedding rings, somebody put a ring on it, leave them the heck alone. They are off limits. You don't need them. Go get a prostitute if you get that doggone horny. And I'm not saying go get a prostitute. I'm just saying if you do that, pay for what you're going to do instead of ruining somebody else's marriage and all that over some foolishness. Here it goes. Look at what it says here. It said, can a man scoop fire in his lap without his clothes being burned? Can a man walk on hot coals without his feet being scorched? Can you handle that? Can you handle even being around her? Can you handle being around him? Can you handle being up with all in their presence? Like, yeah. You think you can handle that? Oh, he fine, but you think you can cut it off at the right time? You think you got the power? You superhuman? You know your pull out game is strong or whatever. I don't know whatever is going on. But if you better be careful. Don't get arrogant. Don't think that you can't get got by a fine, smooth talking, eyelash, spellbinding person, because you can't. I know that I can and have been. Thank God I've been delivered. But I don't want that to happen to you, my friend. That's why I've been way too long. I'm trying to get real quick. The person take a fire in their lap and not be DMing them and thinking you can handle it. You going and messing with people in committed relationship, you're not. I'm back. Sorry about that. If you were there, some things jumped off, but it's back now. So I want you, please understand that Uncle Omar here trying to teach you, trying to help you get to that next level. We're going to finish this up because we're at the bottom of it now. So it says this. I want you to get this because this is good. People do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his hunger when he's starving. Stealing is not good. It's not good at all. But if you're stealing because you're hungry, you starving, then, people don't hate you for that. But if you get caught, you got to pay sevenfold. So if you're hungry and you're stealing, you better be good at it. And make sure you're hungry. Don't be just stealing for stealing's sake. Don't be boosting for boosting's sake. I used to be a booster. Man, I'm telling you all myself. I used to be a booster, go in stores, come out, give me that 5-finger discount. But one day I just realized, I started letting these words sink into me. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that anymore. And when I stopped doing that kind of evil stuff stopped happening to me too. But if a man who commits adultery, if you stealing another man's wife, you know that's that man's. You stealing another man's wife or another man's. You stealing another woman's husband, and you commit adultery. You having sex outside of that committed relationship. It has no sense whatsoever. You don't know that it says a man who commits adultery has no sense. You stupid. Whoever does so destroys their own self. It's like committing suicide for your life and for your marriage and all things you want. Blows and disgrace are his lot. and his shame will never be wiped away. You go to church once you've been labeled as a wife stealer or a wife stealer or a husband taker. It might be cute. You might even marry that person, but that won't be forgotten by the community, nor will it be forgotten by anybody or all those other people who you take. Some people, look at this one, last one, and gonna get out of here. For jealousy arouses a husband's fury. If you take some man's husband, you might die. Do you come home, and and that husband find you in bed with another Negro? Do you know he has a legal right to kill you? Do you know that fury? He ain't gonna even if he let you live, he ain't gonna never let you live it down, and you'll never know if he's gonna come back. And sometimes the stuff that you reap comes back to you, and you don't even know how it's gonna back. He will show no mercy when he takes his revenge. He will not accept any compensation. You can't buy him off. He will refuse a bribe, however great it is. So I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you, if you come for my wife, I'm gonna come for you. Period. Let me get back in. Keep your hands clean and your heart pure. You can't go wrong with that. This is Uncle Omar, and I'm out.